Did you want waffles?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Warlocks Waffles, the only show that the FDA says might not be tolerable in large doses. Welcome to the show. We are a TTRPG morning show. Juni and I are both sick. Yay! Welcome to the show, everybody.
We need buttons for over like sick.
The boys are sick. Two sick dudes. Welcome to the show.
Two sick dudes, one sick show.
When you add one sick dude to another sick dude, you get one sick show.
You're making this way doper than I thought it would end up.
Friday.
You pay for the whole seat, but you're only gonna need the edge.
You logged in just to see some TTRPG nonsense, but what you're gonna get is two totally sick dudes. Yeah, I feel like death. How you feeling, Juni? I've got this giant cup of water that I'm slowly consuming.
That's wild. In my house, anything without a lid is a danger zone. Not only because of my child, but also because of my wife. I feel like they're both just tornado people.
Yeah.
Where it just lids and caps are perpetually necessary. I'll say it to her face. I'm not scared. Don't tell her that though.
I do feel the need to specify that when I said yes, I was agreeing with the concept. I wasn't saying that, yes, I think your wife and child are tornado people.
No. I could spin this. No, I woke up and I didn't think I was sick until I breathed.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, that feels not optimal. And like this season has been like me needing to take Zyrtec. Like I haven't needed to take like allergy meds in like a long time, but this was like my throat doesn't feel great, and I feel like I need Dayquil. Like I was just like, oh no, this isn't a Zyrtec situation. I feel like, oh no, I feel extra new. And then I almost texted you at like 6, like took Dayquil. I'm gonna let you know in 15 minutes if this is not working out. Like this is just not happening.
I can neither confirm or deny whether Juni watched me drink directly from a bottle of Dayquil right before we went live.
It was a power move.
Yeah, just really asserting my dominance over the show here.
Power slamming, chasing it with tequila. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah, I actually dilute my my cold flu meds with just straight tequila. I used to use mezcal, but it's a little too smoky for the morning. Anyway, I'm dying. Juni is also dying. And Juni was like, I got a thing. I got a thing that I'm gonna do this morning. And I was like, okay, cool. What's the topic? And he's like, I'm not gonna tell you. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it would always make things like exponentially easier if I just explained everything, but I want Hunter to react at the same time.
Here's
And it's just
here's the thing. Juni does this bit where he goes, I have a topic, you don't get to know what it is. And I'm like, okay, but like I need to put a title on the episode before we go live. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you. So the title of today's episode is We're Both Sick. Juni has a topic, but he won't tell me what it is. That's it. That's the title of the show today.
You might not remember any of them, but do you remember any of the things I rattled off in being not helpful
as possible names?
Yeah.
I remember Juni list time. Juni has a list. Let's work through these lists. That's it. That's the things that Juni was shouting out as possible names.
It was so many things.
Yeah. So
okay.
I don't know what we're talking about today. Rosie is in the chat and said they're also sick and called it the East Coast Crud, which I do think should be the title of Juni, Rosie, and my band. It's just like, hey, everybody, we're the East Coast Crud. Welcome to the show.
It's a postmodern alternative band. Like,
yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so, Juni, you've got the floor. Let me move to the screen share here. So the people can see the lovely slide you've put together here.
Yeah. This was just so you wouldn't see what's going on. So this, like all Juni,
like all Juni Ruiz specials,
it's a journey. It's a journey because I can't just do the thing. I overthink it, and I have to explain everybody my thought process, how I got there. Because I think that's a lot of the fun. So I have been binging a lot of Game Grumps on YouTube.
Okay.
And
I feel like you mentioned this maybe Monday.
Yes, I have not stopped.
Deep in the Game Grumps catalog.
And I haven't stopped. But also they do some lists, and then it got me thinking, like, well, you know, we haven't done a list like that, and it's funny to me. And then it just kind of turned into like this spiral.
Yeah.
But
for anybody who hasn't worked with Juni on a project, Juni does this thing where he will
this could be anything.
He will come up with a project and we'll start that project, and by the time we end, it's in a completely different area. It's no longer the project that was originally pitched, which is a fun journey to be on. I enjoy it. But it is always fun to watch a Juni project, especially if it's just Juni. Because if it's just Juni, there's nobody else in that project to go, just me. We're real off track, bud.
I try to, you know, keep us towards the lighthouse, try to keep us towards like, you know, where we need to be. So this originally
before we move on, you said lighthouse, and it reminded me this morning I got up, Grace was in bed, I got up and went and got ready to come do the show. And I walked back into the room, and I had a cough, but it wasn't quite a cough, and so it just came out like, "Ooh." And Grace was like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "I'm warning the ships. There's rocks ahead." Ooh.
I thought you were gonna tell everybody you live in a lighthouse, and I was like, there aren't many of those. People are gonna find out where you live.
Yeah. I live in a lighthouse. It's nowhere near water, and also it's not a lighthouse. So good luck,
government. So this
the government does know where I live.
They have to know.
Yeah.
So this originally started out as a smash or pass.
Of course it did.
Situation.
I feel like 95% of your bits start out as a smash or pass.
It always starts out so sexy. Everything starts out way too sexy, right? And I know Hunter wants to keep the show clean, right?
Every time Juni tells me that he has a thing and he's not going to tell me what it is,
too sexy.
He has to spend the first 5 minutes of it justifying how sexy he's made it.
it's a problem. I need to see help. I understand. And I was just like, all right, so I'll put something up and whatever. And then I was just like, no, this is gonna be real boring because I'm just gonna like out myself and it's not gonna be like entertaining because it's gonna be very predictable.
Yeah.
So we're like, I'm not even gonna really like spend too much time with it. We all know this is how it would end up anyway. So like this is just we get it.
I don't believe you. You
Anyway, but then it turned into boss dragons in order of hotness.
Uh-huh.
And I just went to like, all right, well, let's bring it back to like, the table. And then I was just like, oh, high CR monsters. People don't get to see them as often, like exploring and deep diving into them. And then it just went into like how hot the time dragon is. And I was just like, okay, Juni, still too sexy. You need to bring it back. You need to dial it down a second. Also, the great worms, like that level of dragon. I hate that D&D Beyond does this thing where you know how like some will have art and then some will have like just that default placeholder art.
Sure.
A lot of the metallics have just like I the silver one, which is the better one, but like it only has one for brass, copper, blah blah blah. And I know that they're supposed to look radically different,
Uh-huh.
and not just color change. And I was just like upset with them for depriving me knowing how hot those dragons are.
Sure.
So I think we need to do a petition for that. But
what the audience is watching
Uh-huh.
right now
Uh-huh.
is Hunter getting concerned.
Right, yeah, right. This was a journey. Did
Hunter,
I do this
Hunter
part?
is desperately trying to figure out what our topic is today.
Right? Yes. Yes, I know. That this, like I said, I need to tell you how I got to there. And now we're at least getting we're getting to the bottom of the funnel. We're almost honed in, right?
Okay.
So, also that's Niv Mizzet on the bottom, and it's a really powerful dragon, but a big old nerd, and he would be the type where it'd be like, it's just like, before we commence coitus, let me explain the equation for. It's like, really, man? Like, yo, shut up. So then it turned into magic items I would date. So this, I felt I was closer, but still in the weeds.
You're getting closer to our brand.
Getting closer to our brand, but I was just like, all right. I'm close to where I want to be, where I'm combining with the thing I thought was funny and like TTRPG stuff.
Can I tell you how much this one pisses me off though? Purely due to the text alignment of your different categories. It bugs me so much because here's the thing. On each of your slides so far, I have had to adjust what the ratio of the screen share is because it's cut off in different areas.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about that. I just thought it was funny because I was
I'm not doing it again until you get to your real category.
And then I was just like, I don't know how, like, this one's obvious because even in the picture it shows like a picture of a hand against it. But then I was like, I don't know how I'm going to justify this second base for the belt of dwarven kind. So I was just like, okay, this is too complicated. And then we're both sick. We're both sick today. And then I was just like, a lot of these happened in the 5 minutes before the show started. I was just like, all right, D&D creatures, I'd let me nurse me back to health. And I was just like, okay, all right, this is all right. I like this. And then I was just like, no, this started with something original, and then this was like the closest I can get to it.
You keep that sick little pervert, the Nilbog, away from me when I'm sick.
Well,
absolutely not.
Well, this is why
restraining order immediately.
This is actually where I first started and where I wanted to be, and then I like thought of like how I can make it sexy, and I was like, Juni, not everything needs to be sexy, okay?
Yeah, a thing I say to Juni on a daily basis.
It's aggressive, and it's D&D creatures I could be in a fight.
Okay,
this is Juni Ruiz 1v1ing whatever the hell these things are.
Got it.
I saw Game Grumps do like animals I
So-
can beat in a fight.
So
like
to clarify, this is is this the actual one we're doing?
yes.
Okay. So just
One
to
of them,
so
yes.
just to clarify, this is creatures you could beat in a fight, not
Me,
creatures
personally,
I
yes.
could beat in a fight.
No,
This
me
is
personally.
Both of us weighing in on if we think that Juni can beat
you don't
this
weigh
monster.
in. I'm telling
Okay,
cool.
you.
No,
I
I'm
love
just
an
telling
episode
you.
where I'm just an audience member.
You are just here. No, this is for me. This is just for me, right? So check it out.
Okay.
Some housekeeping on the front end.
Yeah.
This is like a situation where like it doesn't matter what would make sense or anything. This is like I have to potentially kill this thing to survive or protect my child.
Okay.
And this is just a very specific like if we had to fight and whatever circumstances compelled us to fight, this would be that. And then when I saw this originally done, it was kind of like, oh, you're just on a beach, or oh, you're just in an arena, like just flat land. And I was just like, this is a world where magic and fantastical things like exist.
Right.
So I gave myself the handicap of I'm in my apartment. It is literally just me in my apartment. Bloom, there's this thing. Can I kill it? Just full blown. Could I, in theory, take this thing out? Right.
Sure.
So, starting out, you may notice that a lot of these things are very low CR because
I will say they're very small pictures, so I can only make out about half of them.
Okay, I will expand them as we're going over them.
Love that.
Yeah. So, this first one is a sprite.
Yes.
Once again, a world where magic exists,
right.
And like there is trickery and stuff afoot. I still think that I can kill this thing with a book.
Okay.
But I don't like just ignore that magic exists. So I will say that they do have the advantage, but I can still probably kill that thing. I think they only have one, and this is me if I don't know anything. So I was just like, I don't know how much health, but I know that if I had to stomp this thing out, I probably could. Gonna use that same logic for this thing. Now, this is something I feel like I would see an imp. I feel like I would see in my shoe again. Magic exists.
I do need to clarify. You said that first one was a sprite. That is a pixie.
Oh, I categorized them all together because I actually was going to go through all of them, and I know there's differences. They're this big, and I think I could hit it with a book, so that's why they're just lumped together. And I did a problematic lumping of creatures.
Got it. Pixies can cast polymorph.
Not if I stomp it with a book first.
Okay.
Once again, this is just they have an advantage. I gave them
absolutely.
Okay, I'm sorry. I must have not gone over this. I'm telling you this. You're not.
I am accepting the fact that I have no sway over where you're going to put these. I am going to roast your poor choices.
Okay, fair. This little guy has a stinger tail. He's scary. I'm gonna probably try to keep some more distance. Again, I think that if I get a pillowcase and a book, I can kill this thing. Now, is there more stuff going on? Maybe. Knowing the knowledge I do know, I also feel like I can trick this thing into a pillowcase somehow. I think that I have. Oh wait, what are you talking about? Yeah. I think they have the advantage because no, fair fight. Yeah, that's right. I'm going the wrong way. This is I could probably kill, but I'm giving that magic kind of levels out the playing field. I think I have the advantage against an imp. You're small. I think I could trick you. Next up is a flumph. Now, I don't know. This is one of those things where I always wondered in a fantasy situation, if I was presented with something so incomprehensible, would I react? Or would I take the split second to like analyze and like try to understand what I'm dealing with here? And if I put myself in the scenario of like I'm coming out of my kitchen and I have like a cup of water, and then just like I blink and this is just there
Yeah.
in between the space between my living room and the kitchen,
Uh-huh.
I would immediately grab a chair and start wailing on it. I
Yeah.
feel like if it was just there, I'd be like, the fuck? And then I would just start hitting it crazily. I think I'd kill it immediately. Just full blown. I would dead it. I would dead it right away. A nilbog. Once again, magic is a thing.
Uh-huh.
And I know that. I also feel like I can trick this in a Rumpelstiltskin-like manner.
Okay.
I feel like I can somehow trick that thing out of his hand and somehow wail on them with his own magic stick. It's just a quick spot decision. I think that I could do it, but he'd probably be jangling around and stuff, and there'd probably be magic. So I think my size and I'll give myself in that I think I'm not I think I could trick him. I think it's a fair fight. I think my size and whatever cancels out his full blown magic. I think a well placed book. I feel like most of these things can be taken out with a book. Like a good dictionary could take out these things before they can get to magicking.
Can I ask you a question before you continue?
Yeah.
How many hit points do you think you have?
So the next one's this frog person, right?
I'm curious though. This is a genuine question, Juni.
Mm-hmm.
How many hit points do you?
Please save your questions.
How many hit points does Juni Ruiz have?
Please save your questions for the end of the presentation.
Okay, I'm waiting.
This begins the category of creatures that I feel I could defeat with salt. I feel that if I have enough salt, I can take down a few of these guys. So even I also have a spear in my den. If I can get to my spear, I think I could fight this guy. And then if I had salt, like pocket salt, I think I could take this guy out using the everyday items I have in my apartment. I think I could do this. I think I could. And then if I don't know, I feel if I locked him in a closet like and then wait him out, like I think I can do it. So this is one of those ones that's like I most likely kill it. I'm also over here and then this is a mushroom thing, right? I forgot its name. I just know that it's a mushroom thing from the Feywild. I eat mushrooms on the regular.
That's from Heliana's Guide, I believe.
So I have a thing normally that like if I've stared into your eyes and know your name, I can't eat you. I think that's an exception I would make in the case of this thing. I think I would, if I needed to, eat the hell out of it to kill it. Does this thing have any magic or anything? I don't know. I just know that I was like, I eat your cousins. You're dead. This is a knucklehead trout from Icewind Dale.
Yep.
This is essentially it is a big honking fish with like a solid skull.
Yeah.
Now, a regular like catfish like flopping around can slap the heck out of somebody. You know what I mean? Like like a fish can do some damage. So it's like the ferocity of a flopping around fish, but then also it's like a sledgehammer that I this is I don't know. I think they have the advantage, especially if they're all wet and I can't get a hold of them.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
You said this fight is taking place in your apartment?
Yeah, uh-huh.
How does the fish have an advantage on land?
Okay, no, that's the thing, right? Now, for like some of them I feel like I can maneuver and stuff like that, but if this thing was just plopped, right? And it's big and it's just thrashing, right? Now, could I wait it out? Yes. Could I wait it out? Yes. But if I was close quarters, this thing literally just sledgehammering me in my taking out my kneecaps.
Uh-huh.
This is one of the ones I thought was more dangerous than the things with magic. Everything else with magic, I feel like could logic out or at least use cunning in some way, shape, or form. But this one,
this is just an animal. Yeah.
Just there's so many that are just animals.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, I don't want to get into the territory of like I'm punching a dog, but like this is legitimately, I was like, oh, this thing could just bash me in the temple real quick, and it's not strategic, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
Going back to my salt-based category, I also think I could, if with enough salt the flail snail.
You're insane.
If just start chucking salt at it. It just straight up chucking salt. I am grossly overselling how much salt I think I have in my apartment, but I think given enough salt and turning up the heat, I think I could defeat a snail. That just with those, that is the words. I think I have the advantage. This is what's that thing? The Almirage. It's a rabbit with a horn. I think with like a pillowcase. Most once again, I feel like a lot pillowcases, books, and shoe and like salt. I think can do a lot of these things.
Sure, this is an animal.
Yes, once again, an animal. I think I have the advantage. I'm giving it. I feel like with animals, they're more dangerous. Anything that like can think, I feel like you have the potential to outsmart, trick, talk, persuade, do anything to give. Like if I were to think of like my mind and charisma as like a weapon, I feel like that's like what helps me. But if it's just an animal that's just gonna like fighting instinct survive, I'm just like, okay, I can't underestimate something like pressured into that kind of corner. But I'm like, if I like talk to a sprite long enough and then wail on it with a book, I think I can like get it. This thing is just like, it's going to be skittish. So it's just like, I think I have the advantage, but I'm not going to underestimate this thing.
Sure.
Okay. This is like just animated books, right? I was
what
like,
is this one called? I don't think I've seen this one before.
I think this is from Candlekeep Mysteries. This one I think is just like animated. I think this one's Animated Library or because there's Chained Library, and that's like a bigger one. And I don't know if this one is just books.
Okay, continue.
Anyway, books. I have a stove. I think
Swarm of Animated Books is what it's called.
Swarm. There we go. Yes. I have had books from bookshelves fall on me, and I worked in a library for 18 years. I think that I have advantage killing a book if I need to. I feel like I have intimate knowledge of how to murder books.
Sure.
Will I get bludgeoned? Yes. Will I come out of this messed up? Sure. Okay, go ahead. What? I was gonna say save your questions. Yeah.
No, I just need. This is not a question about the thing. I have the stat block pulled up. I need you to know because it's very funny to me. This creature only has one type of action. It is an attack where it like bludgeons you with the books. And that attack is called Book Club. Which is very funny. Whoever made that. Good job. That's very good. I love that.
I think I have the advantage. I'm not just saying most likely kill it only because I know I will come out of this messed up.
Right.
Just swarm of books.
You are proficient in books.
Yes.
Yeah.
A kobold.
Yeah.
Once again, I feel like I can trick this thing. I feel like I would see this thing and it would either lash out at me and then I'd have to go like, okay, if it had a weapon, this is going to be tricky and rough and stuff like that. I'm bigger though. If there's any sort of moment where there is words or reasoning and stuff like that, that's where I feel like I have like some like chance or whatever. I think this is in size, I was like, oh, I can kill this thing. But once again, it's got teeth and claws, and if it has a weapon, I think it turns into a fair fight. It levels any sort of playing field out right there. Then this is an ice method, right?
Yes.
I know, Juni knows how messed up this thing could probably make me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if I turn my thermostat enough up, right, and like rigged some sort of flamethrower situation with an aerosol and a lighter, I think I could at least. I think I could kill it.
Sure.
It looked fragile. It looked crystalline.
A lot of your strategies seem to revolve around having time to prepare.
No, oh no, my apartment's ready to kill anything at all times. You know how much salt I have everywhere, man. You know how much salt I have everywhere. I have a spear within arm's reach right now.
I did forget that when we came to your place on the way to PAX East, that you had to go through and disarm all of the traps so that Grace could use the bathroom.
All the salt traps. Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is somewhere between a fair fight, and I have the advantage because I have a thermostat and fire, but it does have, once again, magic and explode. I know that. I wouldn't know that in the moment. I think this, once again, if I just saw that. This is a giant hamster.
Yes, a giant space hamster.
Yes. Okay. It is big.
Yes.
Yeah. It is soft.
It is.
It is very puncturable. And once again, I'm not like saying like I want to hurt an animal. No, this is I need to save my child.
This is if it is attacking you.
Yes, there's something that we have to engage in Mortal Kombat. This is what this scenario is. I think I could kill it, but definitely not easily.
Yeah.
And it is an animal. Anything with an animal just does that like fury kick where they just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like back legs just kind of like whatever. And I know they got some serious teeth.
The self-preservation goes away.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because of the crazy size advantage, I don't think I instantly die, but they have the advantage. I'm not a complete idiot, but I'm pretty stupid. And I think I could kill the thing. I still think I could kill it. This right here is a sage, just like the default like image that they have for the sage.
Okay.
And this is just a fun fact. I've always thought I can beat this guy up. I've just always thought like I could whoop this guy's ass if I could just not let him read from a book and just punch him hard enough in the nose. I always thought I could beat this guy. And if I just saw this dude in my apartment and he'd be like, and I'd be like, the fuck? I think I could do it. I've always like in the back of my head. And that's actually, as I was going through creatures, trying to find creatures for this, I think I just instantly typed in sage because in the back of my mind, I was like, I could whoop a sage's ass. And I was just always like, if I can just prevent him from doing a thing, like do a throat chop or something, I don't know. Like, I think I could beat him. This is the one I feel the most passionately about.
Yeah.
This is the one I care about the most.
Yeah. I've
always believed in my heart I think I could beat this guy.
this whole list is fully built around the fact that Juni wanted to bring up the fact that he could beat this guy.
This specific guy. I love it so much.
I mean, I will give to you.
Mm-hmm.
Their spell list is not super combat focused.
Correct.
They have shield, which would be useful to them. And they have shocking grasp. Those are their only like combat focused ones.
Yeah. And when magic's a factor, obviously like that should automatically like tip any skill, even like prestidigitation, like things like any sort of magic should. I have just always thought I could whoop this guy's ass. And I know that I feel like this has the least amount of like things I could justify other than I'm positive I
Right.
could whoop
Yeah,
this
yeah,
guy's ass. And then this is a scarecrow. I don't know what this one. I was just like, could it? It's if I fire once again, fire. I think I could. Is it a weird nightmare scarecrow that's giving me nightmares and doing things, or is it a fucking scarecrow? And this is one where I was just like, if I just saw a scarecrow moving around, I would immediately start going. And I don't know how much hit points they have. I forgot how many hit points they have. I feel like they're not the hardiest of things.
You are absolutely incorrect.
Oh, they're super hardy.
I mean, not super hardy, but they have 36 hit points. They have 36 hit points. They also have false appearance, so they are like indistinguishable from an ordinary inanimate scarecrow if they're not moving. And then they have claws and frightening and terrifying glare, and like these are not a. This is a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. Once again, I'm trying to save my kid.
Sure.
And it has claws, and I've run through a cornfield before, so I know like I know it could mess me up.
Mm-hmm.
But is it just stuffed with straw? Like could I hack at this and fire at it? I think I could conceivably.
It is resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks.
I've watched Harry Potter, and I know that a parent's love can infuse my fists with with a father's love, and I still think fire. I still think fire.
No, fire is the correct option here.
Whittling this thing down. And if it's my kid at stake, yeah, I'm gonna like do everything I can to keep my kid away from this nightmare thing. I think I could probably kill this. I think I could.
Okay, so where are you putting it on here?
I think it's like here.
Okay.
Here-ish.
I want to point out that you think a literal bunny with a horn and a large elemental and a terrifying nightmare construct all have the same chance of killing you. You think you have the advantage over all three of those equally.
I think I could kill those things. Yes.
Okay.
I think I could kill those things.
Now, is it time for the question and answers portion of this? Sure. I noticed that you don't have anything in the "they most likely kill me" category. Can you address that you made a list that goes up to a certain level and then blatantly didn't put anything there?
I predicted this question, and then I did absolutely nothing
to
prepare for it.
Yeah.
I think that there was originally, this list had another tier where it's definitely, like they definitely kill me and I definitely kill them.
Yeah.
And I was just like, especially with magic and stuff like that, there's no definite thing, because it's like I could have it like pinned 1 HP, it's about to be dead, and then like they whiffed like a vase off a shelf and it hits me in the head. You know what I mean? Like, so this is just, if I in close quarters just got the jump on these things, saw it, was like, the hell, and did it before it can do whatever weird thing it could do, I think I would have. I think I could kill it.
Okay.
Now, and if it's like a dragged out, like we're in a circle monkey knife fight situation, like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be different. I think it's just like, and then just jump on it. Now,
okay.
I will say I am curious. I do have another set where you think you would fall on this. Where do you think for Hunter? What do you think? How would this look for you?
For me, against these things. Okay. I think
so. This thing, where do you think it would go?
A pixie, I think they have the advantage.
Okay.
They've got spells. If I don't see them first, they can take me out of commission pretty quickly. Yeah, I feel like that's a no-brainer.
Okay. Let me move some stuff around. All right. An imp.
An imp. I think an imp also has advantage. They have the advantage there.
Okay.
It is a a fiendish creature. Let me pull up imp. It's been a little while since I've looked at their.
No,
their
you're
stats.
overthinking it. You saw this thing right here, threatening your wife, and you have, I don't know, books. Like, do you think you could kill it? Do you think you could take this thing out?
I mean, I have swords.
You have swords, so okay.
But they can turn invisible. I have nothing against an invisible creature. So I'm gonna say they have the advantage. I would do my absolute best. But I do think they have the advantage there. What's the next one?
So the next one is a flumph.
A flumph, I do think I most likely kill. But I would not feel good about it.
You would not feel good about it.
Correct.
Okay.
Flumps are good aligned creatures.
Once again, no, you're putting too much into this. But this is knowledge
I have.
I know.
If I'm in my living room and I see a flump, I know flumps are good aligned creatures.
Here's the thing. This brings up a new debate because. Okay, 1 second. Oh god. Okay. This brings up something that is like a thing that was answered when the Pokemon movie came out. Would you recognize a thing if it was for reals?
Sure.
I think like a flump, like the same way I know what a Blastoise or whatever looks like, stuff like that in Pokemon. But if it was just there in the moment, not knowing, oh, this is what this is in real life with skin and moving,
I wouldn't
just see a floating jellyfish.
I wouldn't think about it in the moment. It wouldn't, like, if I saw this thing there, I wouldn't go, oh my god, it's a flump, I can't kill it. Like, I'm going to attack it and like it's gonna get out of there.
If you had like the
afterwards
the ability,
is when I will feel bad about it.
Okay.
I do think I most likely kill a flump. What's the next one?
Okay. A Nilbog.
I think a Nilbog absolutely kills me.
Okay. Like straight to the top, kills you?
I think so. Like they are like I'll give it my best shot, but those things are they're rude. I don't like them. They've got spells, they've got like goblin-y magic stuff. Even if memory serves for a Nilbog, you need to make a saving throw to even be able to attack them.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
I think if I got that stick away from it, though,
I think it's a charisma save. So like I might be okay. I think that's my main stat. I don't know. It is a tough one. Let's say they have advantage. I think I would put up a good fight against a Nilbog. A Bullywog, I think, is a fair fight. They don't have magic. They're a creature with a weapon. I can also be a creature with a weapon.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. What about this mushroom?
Mushroom I absolutely kill. Like they don't stand a chance. It's a mushroom. If it's the creature I'm thinking of. If the mushroom is the creature I'm thinking of, it's just like a little mushroom familiar type creature. The trout absolutely dies. Like I'm absolutely killing that thing.
Okay.
If it is a situation where the trout is all of a sudden in my living room, I'm going to leave my living room and it's going to die.
Mm-hmm. But what if it was like a close, like I don't know how big your kitchen is, right? Like
I climb on a counter and it dies.
Okay. It's big. I mean, it could probably reach your
counters. It's a small
Like,
beast.
is it a small beast? I thought it was like a big ass fish.
I'll look it up.
Fish.
If memory serves,
I'd have to hold like a toddler size. Like I'd have to hold like this type of fish.
A knucklehead trout is a small beast. It can weigh 70 pounds or more, but it is a small beast. It can only breathe underwater. It has a bite and a tail attack. But like I'm just not gonna be next to it. I'm gonna get away from it. Flail snail, I absolutely die. This is a large elemental.
Mm-hmm. You have no salt in your house.
I do, but not enough to take out a snail that size.
Okay.
It has an armor class of 16 and 52 hit points.
All right. It's a snail.
You're not thinking hard enough. That thing will absolutely destroy you.
Rabbit.
Yeah, I kill that. Absolutely. It's a rabbit. Like it has a horn. That sucks.
Mm-hmm. A bunch of books.
I think I have the advantage. Like it's a bunch of books.
I feel like there's no way to not come out like hurt when it's just a swirling tornado of books.
It really comes down to how many hit points do I have. But like I think I have the
depends
advantage
on the day.
books.
I feel like with me, it depends on the day. Like today, I feel like I got an extra one.
Yeah. With a kobold, I feel like this really comes down to
does it have a knife or does it have rope?
I mean, both of those are good options, but also like, are both of us entering into this with no time to prepare? It's just like both of us like walk into a room at the same time and like go at it. If it's my house, I think I have the advantage. If it's a neutral area, if it's a neutral area, I think it's a fair fight. If it's their territory, I think they have the advantage. I'll say fair fight, just because of how versatile that could end up being.
Ice Method
has advantage. They have the advantage there. They're magical. They're not super easy to take down. Like
the explosion is what I fear the most. I feel like I'd have to
even if I do take them out, I do die.
Yeah. I feel like I'd have to like be on the other side of a couch and hit it with a chair, and then it's like, and then it explodes, and then like my couch takes most of the hit. Like that's how I imagine like the how I choreographed the fight. This giant hamster.
I mean, even if it's just they use their frost breath on me, like if they use their frost breath, I'm not a dexterous person. Like that's not a strong stat for me. Giant space hamster. Here's the thing. This may not be in the spirit of the game. I think I can tame a giant space hamster.
That's not. This is a fight. This is a fight, sir.
Here's the thing.
Don't you try to turn this.
I think I can talk my way out of this. I think I can get.
How do you talk it out of a Okay.
I pull some treats out and give it to it. I think I can. I think I can make this an ally. Yeah.
All right.
It's not a huge attacking creature. Like, it is a relatively timid
Yeah.
creature. It doesn't want to attack. So I think if you take the opportunity to go like, oh, I'm going to like
This is
not
this
attack.
is.
If it's in some sort of like
Let's hope your
horrible
wife
rage,
stays safe, because you're just trying to, honey, don't worry, I think I can tame it. So here, I'll put a
if it
heart
was
for
attacking, I would attack it. But if it's not attacking,
you.
I'm not
I'll
going
put
to
a
try and
heart
attack it.
there.
Perfect. Love
Put,
that. I think I could. I think I could tame it. If you want to just categorize it as I have the advantage in it, I think I have the advantage in winning that encounter.
What about this nerd?
I think I have the advantage. I agree with you. They're not a particularly hardy person. But like I would need to stay out of range of it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have a huge number of spell slots. So Scarecrow absolutely kills me. 100%. Zero chance I survive that encounter.
Okay. So for all that shit, I feel like we have a lot of we're in this, there's some things that you think I think we're pretty similar here.
We're
I think
not
it's not
at all.
too far off. I think
you are
this
insane.
is a very
The only two that you put up as having advantage are a fish and a hamster.
literal animals.
And then the like little pixie, the little like tricky goblin, and the kobold are the ones you said are a fair fight. And then everything else is you having the advantage where you'll absolutely kill it.
Because I think I can kill all of them with salt and pillowcases.
Yeah, you're insane.
I think given enough salt and pillowcases, I can do it. I think it's totally doable. Now, Rosie did ask a question in the chat about what the highest CR. I think there might be like a 1 in here, maybe a 2, like hidden.
The flail snail is a 3.
That's a fucking snail. Salt.
It's an elemental.
I know it's an elemental. I get it. But it's a snail, right? So I was just like, wait a second. Like, what specifically if I was to look for like 1s and 2s? Because I get it. I'm not gonna defeat like, a CR5 dragon. I get that. I like no magic, no weapons, just my apartment.
Yeah.
I do have a spear. I still don't think I think I could take that hamster maybe, like, or at least I could take it with me. But like that I have to get lucky.
Yeah.
So I do have another where these are higher CR ones. And
okay.
And you will see that the list radically changes.
Sure.
Because this is like this
is gonna have to be higher stuff, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I have in the canon I've established, I have a lot of salt, right?
Sure.
While I think salt may help.
Can we establish up front?
Mm-hmm.
Is this still a fight in like real world? These things show up, they have access to all of their stuff. You don't have access to anything new.
In my head, that's what I did.
Okay.
I just went harder monsters. What would that look like? Because I was like, yeah, I picked things. I was like,
they're all
I
going to
could probably kill this. That was a fun bit where I think. And then I was like, what about things that are a little harder? And then I was just like, oh boy. So I was like, this jelly, I can't punch it. It would soak through a pillowcase or dissolve it. And I'm hoping salt will take care of it, but I don't think it would.
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, it will like unless it's edible, which I doubt it. I think it most likely kills me.
Yeah.
It's like over here.
I'll just do mine at the same time as we're going through this.
Okay.
Because
what do you think?
Yes, absolutely, it kills me as well.
Yeah. This is it's a dragon wormling. It's a something wormling. It's the littlest one. I was just like
freaking dragon.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what if I get my spear or something? I was like, no, it's gonna still like it can fly. It's so many things here. And then this is where you heard me.
Is it
Hunter heard
is it a
me.
copper dragon? Which dragon is that?
Oh,
Yeah, it's a copper dragon.
okay, yeah. So yeah, I didn't even consider breath weapons. I was just thinking like big old giant lizard with whatever, and I was like, okay,
Oh my
could I
goodness.
be?
A copper dragon also has they have 2 different breath weapons.
It's wild.
That's
And I was
super
like,
cool.
could I be an alligator? And I was just like, where would I fall? It'd most likely kill me, but would I be able to? And then I was like, what if it had wings and can shoot stuff? And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't have enough salt. And this is where you heard me this morning, where I was just like, I kept Hunter couldn't see what I was doing, but I just going, what the hell is this bastard? And he just heard me.
Junie called a monster a
exclaiming things.
bastard like 5 times this morning.
And that's this thing, and
Mhm.
it's like a CR1 or 2, and I was like, that's just a bird. This is just a
What is
bird.
it? What is it called?
An elbris or an albris, it's something like that. But it's like a CR1, I think. I don't know if it's a CR2.
Birds are nasty.
Birds are nasty. That's why I don't think it's I just kill it. I think it has the advantage, but I'm not. This is where I start going, could I do this? Could I pull this one out? This one's I'm gonna say, how do you feel you would fare against this big ass bird?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they have the advantage there. It without seeing a stat block for it, I think it's just a big ass
Yeah.
bird. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to fight a goose. Like so yeah, I think they have advantage there for sure.
Could you beat a goose?
I think I could absolutely beat a goose. Goose, you like their necks are perfectly grabbable.
Yes. It's the weird thing with them, because
But this looks more like a crane.
like a heron. Yeah. It's
yeah.
an ebulus. It's an ebulus.
Ebulus.
It is a large monstrosity. It is evil, neutral evil. It has an alignment, sir, and it talks. It speaks common. It can attack more than once, and it can cast blur, hypnotic pattern, and minor. Apparently, it has magic. Okay, going off of it's a bird, I'm like, I have the advantage.
Yeah, it's not even just a bird. It's a monstrosity. It's not a beast.
If I see this, I think they have the advantage, but I think I can do this. If I know everything that I know, they kill me. Like it's just okay. I am gonna die.
It's a monstrosity. It has multi-attack and spellcasting.
Yes, it is super able. It is just like it's like what is it? It's a CR.
It's a CR1.
A 1. A CR1. Sir.
I wanna specify though, in the description it says they are thought to be the reincarnations of evil humans who were punished by gods for acts of larceny and kidnapping.
Larceny?
Yeah.
Like that's wild. Now we go.
They're 8 feet tall.
It's a nightmare. It's a literal
They can
bird,
manipulate objects with their beaks and feet. No, I'm moving that up to they most likely kill me. This is a terrifying monster.
The more we're reading, yes, okay, I guess. But like on the surface, I was like, could I kill that bird?
Yeah.
Like I have rice.
Yeah.
I'm Puerto Rican. I have rice. Can I kill that bird? And then I was just like, okay, all right, I'm back into, could I kill this thing with a book? It's tricky. I know they can go invisible. I know they can do things.
This is a fairy dragon, right?
Yes. But like full blown, like it is tiny, and I don't think it has like, I think it has like a hallucinogenic breath weapon or something like that. So I think they have it's like this weird thing where things cancel out, because I was like, oh, it bites me, then I hit it with a book, you know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, it gets me the breath weapon, okay, and then like I start flailing around confusedly, and then I accidentally hit it with a book.
Sure.
So it's just like one of those things where it's like, I think I have the advantage, but like obviously it could confuse me, and I could run into my a stove. You know what I mean? Like I could just like my apartment only has stoves, pillowcases, and salt like
Sure.
in one sphere. That's apparently all my apartment. What about you? What do you think?
I definitely think they have the advantage.
Okay. Oh, just spoiler. I do have one for you too. So we could just put you if it's like we've agreed on these guys up here.
Yeah. I think they have the advantage because they are like they're pretty smart. They have spells, they have bites, they have their breath thing. They can turn invisible as a bonus action.
Yeah, I was just like
Without a spell
invisibility.
slot,
Yeah.
like that's rough. Like
But
just
then I was like,
every
okay,
turn they can be
and then
invisible.
it bites me in the shoulder, and then I got you. You know what I mean? Like that's what I like. I gave it like I was like, oh, a predator comes around, but it's not gonna like. I don't know if it's gonna like grab a knife and come at me. I think it would like
Sure.
fly at me and like be like a bat in my face.
Yeah, but with its breath weapon, like it has the euphoria breath, which is like
Yeah.
a very cool concept. But
Yeah,
it's a like you can't take reactions, so like opportunity attacks aren't going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And like you have to roll a d6 at the start of your turn. If you roll a 1 through a 4, you don't get an action or a bonus action. And you
Yeah.
just move in a random direction. 5 or 6, you don't move, and the only thing you can do is make a wisdom saving throw, ending the effect on yourself on a success, which is like rough. Like you're basically not going to do anything.
Yeah.
I think it can bite me enough times in that period that I would be down. So I think they have the advantage. I need a very good hit early on in that fight.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. I understand that. A goblin boss.
Ooh. Okay, so
Goblin boss. This is going
goblin.
into one CR1 and CR2. Like we're like you know what I mean, and it's like a goblin boss, and I'm thinking, does that mean smarter or stronger? Because then it's just
Both.
like yes, and it's like when I think goblin, I'm thinking like oh I can talk, reason, outsmart, out strategize. Like I'm thinking like could it be a fair fight? But then when I think of a goblin boss, I think of all those other things of like that make it like fair fight, but then also like that that power differential because I'm like, oh, I'll have size, but like that won't matter with like a boss would have experience. That's the experience is what I think would kill me.
Yeah.
Where it's just like like have I had many death matches in my life? No.
Yeah.
So it probably has, which is how it ascended to that. Could I defeat a regular goblin?
They have good hit points. They have good armor class. They can do the nimble escape, like disengage stuff as bonus actions. They have multi attacks. Like, this is a.
I put it in the like instead of just being firmly in the and then they kill me. I put it in like there's a scooch of like this where I'm like
just slightly over the line from they have advantage
an instant,
into it.
Futile. Like, could I do a killing shot?
I could put up a reasonable fight against a goblin boss.
Like if I were to like die. If I were to put like the center of these lines were like firmly in that thing, the jelly, I'm like, I don't know what recourse I could have.
Yeah.
Everything else is like firmly in there, but like the bird.
What type of jelly is it?
Oh God, it was hold on, I do have that.
Looks like a bag jelly.
I think that was that correct.
Oh, it's from Glory of the Giants.
Bag jelly.
I don't have that on D&D Beyond, so I can't pull up the stat box.
A bag jelly, medium, unaligned, resistant to acid and bludgeoning. It's blind. It can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch. Has multi attack. Olive hued oozes. Some giants keep their bags scrupulously clean to avoid attracting bag jellies, but others actually use these scavengers to hinder thieves.
Fun.
So it's like a sleeping giant will put like them in a bag to be like, So I was just like, I don't know what,
It's
like,
it's about the same size as a person though, so like there's only
yeah.
so much you can do against it.
After having watched Delicious in Dungeon, like they have like oozes and slimes, and they almost make it seem like a jellyfish, like there's like a core essentially. So if like
Mm-hmm.
one well placed stab or like slicing of like a tendon or something, like a central whatever, just disables it. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, if there was like a floating core, or if there was like, but like in D&D, like jellies and oozes usually are just like just sentient, like it all is the thing. It doesn't
Sure.
have like that like, oh, sweet spot or something like that. So I'm like,
Which
I don't know what
I
recourse I
like
would
that a
have.
lot, having like a core to it
Like, yeah,
that
some
makes a
sort of
lot of
thing that
sense.
makes it, like an organic thing. Cause I think that they're more an organic thing as opposed to like, oh yeah, I animated the sword. It's just it does it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um a harpy. W- uh yeah, it can fly. It's people sized. Um, uh, uh, I'll immediately go like, What's this naked lady doing in my apartment?"
Sure.
And then like have that split second like, and then just probably be dead. Like worse if like a song hit me first and I
Yeah.
didn't like
Yeah.
resist
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something. Um, anything can be killed with a well placed spear, but
Sure.
uh, the amount of things that would have to go in my favor, the jump, all that stuff. Um, this I what's this guy's name? All I know is very similar to the Sage. I saw this guy, and it's like a CR1 or two.
He has a punchable face,
He had a punchable face. His name is
but he's got a
uh,
weapon.
Airno Glass Staff. Um, he is a CR one. He can teleport twice. He has charm person, hold person, magic missile.
Oh
He's
yeah.
got
You
spells.
he casts magic missile one time, you're dead.
Yes, he could he could kill me.
Easily.
However, I think if I hit him in the back of the head with a book,
How
right?
many hit
Like,
points does he have?
man, you're making it overcomplicated. 22. Okay, I think if I stomped on the back of his head with a book, right? I think I could kill him. I think this is one of those where I'm not gonna like. He is not just an apprentice. I get it. I think he has the advantage.
Yeah.
But I think I could kill this guy.
I think he has
I
the advantage for sure. I think there's a strong possibility of him killing you.
Yes.
But I do think he has the advantage.
I think he would see another person and he would probably feel superior and he would feel like he can like talk to me.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the only reason I'm like it's not instant, because anything else that's like an animal, a creature, or like a tribe, like a goblin,
Right.
they don't waste time with talking. You
Right.
know what I mean? If it's a goblin where it's like, oh, it's robbing me or something,
He might be able.
but
He might try and like convince you to like
stand
not
down,
fight.
give
Yeah.
up. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's the type where he would lead with a whole
Yeah.
person, you know?
Right.
And I'm just like, I could probably kill him. Um uh this is like a sea spawn or something like
Yeah.
that.
These things suck.
It looks lanky, it looks and I was just like, how much salt do I have? And I was just like,
if they're from the sea though, the
yeah,
sea is saltwater. Salt isn't going to do anything to them.
shit, you're right. I guess I was just thinking about drying it out because I was like, you're not going to be moisturized. Uh, but yeah, no, okay. So I guess yeah.
Yeah, I put these into a fight I ran recently. They suck. Like they're
A
rough.
sea spawn. Yeah.
They have this
32 hit points. Ooh, they got a lot.
32
of
hit
things.
points, armor class. They have this thing called Piscine Anatomy.
Yeah.
They use one of the following options: either bite, poison, quills, or tentacle.
I didn't know it had that. I just based
rough.
this off a site. On site alone, I was like, could I 1v1 this thing? It's got claws and scales and what look like barnacle armor. Could I do this? Looking at it alone, I'm
Mhm.
thinking like they have the advantage. Knowing everything else, yeah, no. I'm a tentacle. Like I don't want to know.
Right.
But yeah, okay. I see that. I'm not a fool. Um This is another thing where you heard me earlier going, "What the hell is this bastard?" This is I think it was called the Devil Spawn. Let me see. Hold on.
Why does he remind me of Donald Trump?
Yo, word. It's called a Screaming Devilkin, right? It's got 18 hit points, but it's a CR1. Its main thing is it's got a barbed tail. So like this can like stingray me. So like I'm like, okay, yes.
Yeah.
It can fly, it can opportunity attacks
It's
have
like
a disadvantage.
it's like an amped up imp.
Yeah. It has one of those like screams where you gotta like if you fail the saving throw, you become incapacitated.
Yeah.
And stunted legs have disadvantage on attack rolls. All right, so if it's flying, it has advantage on every like it is just it's a bat. But if it's on the ground, if I ground it or I caught it while it was ground, because like not everything's flying all the time. You know what I mean? Not everything's like a bee. So if it's just like if I were to catch it like looking around and it's on the ground and I could do it, I think that it negates some of like the scream, but the screen is an AoE. So I think this is either like a fair fight or like it's one of those things where it can go either way. So it's almost like it takes like, is it in the air? Is it not in the air? You know what I mean? And I feel like size and chairs and pillowcases like
and if you have
some of it.
If you have to make a wisdom saving throw like at the beginning of your turn every round just to be able to like do stuff, like that's gonna suck.
What about you? What do you feel? You feel that would be like
I think
either way,
fight.
fair fight. Yeah.
Like it has no speed if you get it to the ground.
If it's grounded, like it changes everything. It really varies on like where it is. A specter. Like the jelly, I don't know what recourse I like. I've watched a lot of Supernatural.
You can't hit it.
So I feel like salt in my head. I feel like salt would help me here, but then it won't. So, like unless there's something that I'm thinking like, oh, but wait, what about garlic? Or like, is it also weak to rice? Like, I don't know of anything that won't make it, that it won't instantly kill me.
I mean, it's got resistances to pretty much everything. It's got immunities to necrotic and poison. It's got resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magic. Like it's rough. Your best bet at that point is probably to get it like outside into the sun. Because then it would have disadvantage on attack rolls and perception checks. But realistically, it has life drain. And life drain is 3d6 of necrotic damage. And
that almost gave me
and you have to make a Constitution saving throw, or your hit point maximum is reduced by that amount. Like that thing takes you out in one go.
Yeah. All right, we're a little over time, so we're gonna fly through these. A Quasit.
I feel like
bastard.
I love. This is my favorite kind of little bastard, though. Like, I feel like. Let me see here. If memory serves, they're not crazy.
They're small, you know, but they got claws, they got teeth. They're one of those things where it's like when I think of like a small animal that like is bananas, like a hamster or a rat, you know what I mean? It's like a cornered rat can be very dangerous, like the way it'll flail and bite and thrash. And then this thing's got horns and crazier claws, and that mouth looks really wicked. I think that anything that would make me go, I instantly kill it, is like, it wouldn't be like I most likely kill it. I think it is fair fight to I have the advantage as far as like size, because I'm like, if it bites me, I could in theory grab it, pillowcase it, bookcase it, salt it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I could do more things than it can, other than just slash and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, could I?
But it does have it has resistance to non-magical damage from bludgeoning, though. So like bashing it in a pillowcase is resistant to the damage.
But then it's a game of like a war of attrition, where it's like I have to keep doing this until it dies, and it has to, you know what I mean? It's like
I think if I get the jump on it, it's a fair fight, or I have advantage. Like where you have it right there, is
Yeah.
if I have the drop on it, it's there. If it has the drop on me, they have the advantage for sure. Because they have scare, they have invisibility, they have claws.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're
There's
shape
magic.
changer.
There's
If
lots of
they get the
things, but
drop
like,
on me,
yeah.
it's gonna be rough.
1v1, it's in its form. I'm right there in my form.
Yeah.
We're there. And it's like, meh, and then we just off the jump. It's quick. Yeah, it's gonna be like, reaction time. An animated table. This is like a CR2. It's like a higher CR than you would think. Because it's like solid mahogany, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can kill this thing. I just think I can kill this thing. And that's based solely off of like I would have to like fire and like an axe. Now is it?
It doesn't have. I would have assumed it had like vulnerability to fire. It doesn't.
Yeah, this is just like because it's like the whole thing with a mimic, type of thing where it's like, is it flesh or whatever? It's like it's not wood, but it's not flesh. It's just like its own organic substance at this point, I guess. But
oh my
I would think
God.
What?
So if the target moves it, if the table moves at least 20 feet straight towards the target and then hits it with a ram attack on the same turn, the target takes an extra 2d8 of bludgeoning damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a strength save of 15 or be knocked prone. The ram already does 2d8 plus 4. So if it charges you, that's 4d8 plus 4 and make a strength save of 15 or be knocked prone. I feel like I die from that hit.
So here's the thing. Now, how much room it has a reach 5, but the ram, the charge, okay, and he's 20 feet. Spoiler alert: my apartment isn't huge, right? So if it was just like, and it's how much flexibility does that thing have?
Sure,
because when I think of
it's a
ram,
large construct. Maneuverability is going to be limited.
Correct. So it's one of those things where it's like you have to be really like specific with I know that if I was a player, I would be very nitpicky on like the anatomy of it.
Sure.
Because it's like, how is it moving? Can it maneuver? If it's like my circle table and it's got like 4 legs, like I think it could. But if it's like this big square table,
if it's a circle and it just flips onto its side and rolls down a hallway after you,
do that. Like, but then if I just don't get hit that one, if I don't get hit by that one, do I then have advantage? It's upside down.
Right.
Like, how flexible is it? So like there's a lot of things, but I think that I think it's not written in the stat block, but I think there is an inherent inflexibility here. I think that it
has a dexterity of 8.
Yeah. Like the whole thing is like it's an animated table. This was a table.
Right.
Like this was a table. This isn't like a mimic that's like pretending to be a table and it can actually like, bend crazy. So I think it's like one of these, I have advantage fair fights.
Yeah. I would agree.
Because
it's on that line there.
Because like, I'm not going to come out of this unscathed.
If you can run and maneuver, you're good. If it is,
doors,
if it is 20 feet from you, and you are like sitting there in a straight line from 20 feet, and it just charges from 20 feet away, you're dead. But if you are able to maneuver and get away from it, I
immediately thought of me walking through my doorway and any table not being able to fit through it, and just me stabbing it with a pair of scissors over and over again until it was done, because like it couldn't get through the doorway.
Right.
So I was instantly like, oh, it's like almost like an animal or whatever it is. But like I thought that there was a lot of things. This is a CR2. It's the default image for a bard.
Yeah.
Once again, I feel like given enough circumstances, I could just take this guy out before he can do all the things. Now this is just a bard. Like this can be any bard. It could be like, but it's in theory a person. It brings that into like fair fight territory. Less than this guy.
Are you Juni Ruiz cool killing a dude?
Once again, this is not like, oh, do I see a person, I'm just going to commit a murder? Whatever is the situation that makes it so we have to fight.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, this is what the reality of the thing is like.
Sure.
But like, it could be, and this could be any bard of any race, so it's just like.
If this was a, like, this is a first level bard and I'm like kind of a first level-y type energy.
Yeah.
Like sure, like I feel like we could probably figure something out. However, Bard's stat block, 44 hit points, 15 armor class. They have healing that they can give themselves. They have heroism they can give themselves. They can cast sleep. They can cast shatter, invisibility, charm person, vicious mockery. Like they have weapons. I think they are more in the they have advantage to kill. Like they most likely kill me.
I'll accept that. Yeah. I think that. But once again, words, intellect, strategy, all those things where I'm like, could I? Like
you're
not
relying
like
on your ability to talk your way out of that situation.
Like it's not like my ability like to dodge and deadlift. It's like, oh, there's more stuff here. This is an Allosaurus. This is just a full-blown dinosaur.
I die immediately. There's a zero chance I am able to kill this dinosaur.
It's chomping down on me, and I get there's a world where like I could end it, but not like, oh, I'm winning this fight like that.
There's no chance of survival. You will die.
Oh, survival, no. But like this is one of those, could I beat it or kill it?
Could you take it with you?
Could I take it with me? And I'm like, oh, if it's there, and I'm like, and I get it. It looks soft. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna have that kind, like same thing with like the hamster. I was like, it's huge. You know, whatever.
It's not soft though. It's gonna be a thick hide.
It's a thick hide. It would require like heft and like whatever, you know, oomph to put it in there. So I'm not saying that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat it, but could I kill it? I'm just vocalizing. I think I could, but not unscathed or alive. But I think I could kill it. And then this little guy right here, which I saw, and I was like, I'm just going to include him. This is Mustaval Guardrail. This is from, where are you from? Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse. It is he's a CR2, neutrally good, a small celestial. And at first my instant reaction is like, I can kill that with a book and a pillowcase, right?
Yeah. I don't think I would be able to. He's so freaking cute.
He's so, like, once again, cuteness aside,
he's a celestial. He's a celestial, adorable little mouse angel.
Could you like at first I was like, okay, like let me like, could I kill it with just like, and if it was just the mouse, if it was just the mouse, could I do it? And then I was just like, all right, fair fight. And then I made the mistake of looking at a stat block, right? This little guy,
what is his name?
CR2, Mustaval Guardrail, multi-attack. He has 2 bone blades, right? They do slashing and radiant damage. He can do dancing lights, disguise self, and invisibility. So already that's bad. And he has skirmish movement. Ends his turn within 5 minutes. He can move half his speed and doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. He's a little ninja.
I love him.
I was like, all right, I get him in a pillowcase.
He reminds me of Maximus.
Yeah, that's why I saw this thing and I was like, oh, and I immediately was just like, haha, got you in a pillowcase. And I imagined me winding up with the book, and then I just see 2 blades pop out, spin in a buzzsaw motion.
The bottom of the pillowcase just falls.
And he's just falling slow motion, smiling as I'm winding up with the book, and he's like, you're about to die.
Yeah,
so
just drops to the ground, runs between your legs, slices your Achilles tendon.
So I think this is one of those, going to like most likely kill me, but I want to give myself like not as high as the dinosaur, because I'm like,
see, I think this thing will kill me faster than a dinosaur would.
Oh, efficiently, yes, but once again, this is a person. Like this is like a thing, and I'm like, could I outsmart it? Could I like sure. Like this is a thing that will think.
Yeah,
anything that will think instead of just acting on instinct, I think like gives me always like a hair of like a chance. That's why like this person is like gives me more of a chance than this goblin, and this dude I think like gives me more of a person.
I think you can you could make like the semantics argument of like they most likely kill me versus they have advantage of like they have advantage on winning this fight.
Correct. Yeah.
But like they most likely kill me implies that they're going to kill me. Whereas with this guy, I feel like I would try very hard not to be in a situation where I would have to be killed by this guy. Like
no, I mean, I understand that.
Yeah. Like I want this guy to be my new friend. I love him very much.
So and we gotta go, but what this turns into is basically like if I were to take these two lists, like
Uh-huh.
obviously it's very skewed. Like once you start hitting CR1,
Yeah.
it's just getting to the point where it's like we would need magic and like I would have to go,
Mhm.
I have X amount of weapons and I have X amount of like guns. You know what I mean? I would have to like give
Sure.
myself armaments and like not be wearing shorts
Oh, if
and
you
a
introduce a
tank top.
gun into this situation, it changes things drastically.
Correct. Like I'm giving myself the benefit of like, like technology in the sense of like,
Yeah.
could I Jiffy rig a flamethrower? Yeah, like I'm
Sure.
giving myself those benefits. I don't have a gun. I have a spear and like a sword. So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, okay, there are weapons in this
Right.
house. Could I do something with this? And there's pillowcases and salt. So this one, I was like, you could tell where it's just like, okay, cool. Um, I find things that are actual animals and like that are the less they have to think, the more dangerous they are to me.
Uh-huh.
Anything that requires thought or can be reasoned, like it's almost like, okay, I think I could. I'm giving myself that benefit. I'm like, okay,
Sure.
I hold myself in that regard. I think I could do something here. Um, and then obviously when it comes to things where it's just like they are clearly in their biomes going to be higher like predators. They're going to
Mhm.
be more apex whatever's, if it's like a little forest and there's like squirrels and stuff like that, but there's like a fairy dragon, like it's going to be more deadly.
Mhm.
Um and you can see that there's I'm pretty full of myself over here. I get that.
Yes.
I'm really confident in my salt. But like there's nothing here that I instantly kill. There's absolutely nothing
Yeah.
that I'm just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
nothing's good.
Which I'm
Uh
I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see that
I-
when you raised the CR, you still were
correct.
you were
I
like,
gave
okay,
myself
I
benefits
understand.
of
I'm
like,
not gonna kill this things.
I gave myself the benefit of terrain and like circumstance in
Mhm.
some of these and like, I can logic out some things, but I was just like, okay, there's a dragon.
I I will say there are
Uh-huh.
substantially higher CR creatures on the first list that you think you would absolutely be killing
Hmm.
than
Yes, I'm
on
aware of that.
the second one.
I'm well aware of that.
Okay.
Once again, if
I just
it's
needed
usually
to
something
clarify.
that yeah, yeah, oh yeah, I know. And this is me not taking into account stats. You
Sure.
know what I mean? How many hit points do I have? How many hit points this thing has? How much
Yeah, yeah,
like damage could I do with scissors? You know,
yeah.
so it's like okay, and I know that changes things up. But I thought this was fun. I saw
Yeah.
like the thing of like what could I as a person
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
really beat in a fight, and I thought that was fun. And then of course I was like, well, how can I make it sexy? And so that's why I got to the things that so if I'm not going to change it now, but this could also be which D&D creatures I would date, and it would just look like this. Uh, um,
Yeah,
but
there's a
yeah,
direct correlation between how likely the monster would be to kill Juni and how attractive he finds them.
this was man, you don't understand how I made most of these slides in the 5 minutes before. Not this one. Most of these other slides 5 minutes before we started. It was pretty funny. uh for the instantly when I was looking through magic items, my favorite thing, I was like, all right, let me pick magic items that have pictures. But then I saw this one. This instantly was like the car from Titanic to me in my brain,
Yeah, yeah,
where it's
yeah.
just like a handprint, and I was just like,
I
yeah,
see it. Yep.
I'm gonna take me daddy. Like also coming up with the categories, I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know how to categorize dating, and then I was just like, all right, this is a weird way for me to think it, but sure, let's go.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna
Um
out myself right now.
okay. Well,
uh,
now there we have it, y'all. That has been our
that was a
our
definitive list.
our definitive list. You've learned, I hope you've learned a lot about both Junie and myself and
Correct.
what
Our dating
our
preferences.
how we think our various skills would stack up.
Mhm.
At some point, Junie, we should do a game where we like turn ourselves into characters and like
Mhm.
really like really put out what we think our like stats and stuff would be.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun. We could have some friends of the show on and like build out a party and do a little like one shot of us playing ourselves.
I wanted to do that too, like stat ourselves out, what we think at least, and then just put ourselves in these scenarios like as if we were armed with magic or weapons or something like that. Like, because then it'd be like, okay, well, hey, I could take that thing out if I really, really tried. That's just a bird. I don't care if it can talk. I could kill that bird. That bird, man, that bird. Oh my god,
the bird messes me up. 8 feet tall is insane.
Well, I just saw the picture and I was like, that's a bird. I can kill it. And then like looking at it, I was like, large, monstrous, evil. Like anything that has an alignment, like intent, that change, like the whole. Remember how I said about like thinking, like. Intent always changes things up for me, because then it's just like, oh, it'll kill me for fun, or because like it wants me to be dead and miserable. I'm like, oh god, this is like, I had like it was firmly in the I could probably kill it category if I didn't get too close, because like birds, a beak and those claws, like
they're nasty.
That's just yeah. I was like, oh, it can't fly, it's inside. I gave it my apartment, but.
I know I know somebody who was hospitalized due to a goose, like, and that thing is much larger than a goose.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We will. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning, y'all. We will be back on Monday. Until then, have a great weekend. Remember to embrace the nonsense. And your calls to action are going to be if you see a monster, decide if you think you could take it. See if you could come up with a way that you would fight that creature if it just appeared in your living room. Second one, what magic item would you be the most likely to date? Figure that out. Do some self introspection. And third one,
boop, marry, kill a bag of holding, like boop, marry, kill like items. Like
that'd be fun. We could do that sometime. Let's see. Last one is going to be the next time you are playing a game of whatever TTRPG you play, when combat takes place, ask the GM if they think that they could take that monster in a fight. That's it.
I was gonna say, ask your GM if salt would be effective. Out of curiosity.
The next time you make a character, add a pillowcase and salt to your inventory, and then try and use it all the time.
It would take out most creatures.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We will be back on Monday. Until then, have a good one. Bye, y'all.